If you've been in the real estate business long enough, you've probably heard about the 1% rule. If you're not familiar, the 1% rule is a quick way to evaluate a cash flow on a buy and hold investment. 1% refers to the monthly rent as a percentage of the asset cost. For example, if the rent is $1,000 per month and the property value is $100,000, then the property conforms to the 1% rule. In theory, it should be a good investment. Sounds pretty simple. But there are a lot of things missing in that simple calculation. There are a number of variables that fluctuate significantly from location to location and individual to individual. These variables can have a huge impact on the viability of an investment. So the first variable to consider here is the operating cost. Taxes vary greatly from one municipality to the next. In Pennsylvania, property tax rates vary between 0.9 to 2.47% of the property value. The national average is 1.08%. But you also need to account for any additional school taxes that might apply. Other important operating costs to consider are going to be the cost to lease, manage, maintain, insure the asset, right? Overall, operating costs can eat up between 25% to 40% of your income every year. That's a lot. It's significant. If you're not taking account of that, it can be a big deal. The second variable to consider is the vacancy rate and lost rents. Properties in lower end areas will turn over more frequently, and they'll take longer to rent to quality tenants. In addition, lower end properties have higher rates of eviction, abandonment, and non-payment. So most people use a 5% vacancy rate to calculate their cash flow. I can tell you that this number is usually absolutely wrong. If you've never invested in a rental property before, you can anticipate about a month to clean up the property and then another month to find a tenant and have them move into the house. Right? So you're losing 2 months a year if the tenant is turning over every year. That's a vacancy rate of 16.7%, or 3 times the rate you'll find in a Google search. The last variable to consider here is your financing. Everyone's a little bit different. Debt to income, credit score, cash reserves, the number of loans that you have. These are just a few variables that are going to affect the type of loan and the cost of financing on that investment. The 1% rule, it might be a great way to sift through a mountain of potential deals. But after you've taken that initial screening, after that's done, be sure to dial in and do the rest of your homework before making your next purchase.